Hello, welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. Hello, Melissa Harris. How are you? I'm tired of DC Attorney. Yes, no DCs tonight. Comic books are capitalized. Only Home Alone. Let's try to have a lighthearted evening.
Yes.
Christmas is mostly over, but if your tree's still up, by all means, turn it on tonight. Enjoy the peaceful Christmas lights, because that's what I've done.
Sorry.
H Boomer, how are you?
Good. I caused an echo there for a sec. Sorry. I was bringing
That's
up the
okay.
chat. Okay. I'm doing well. Happy to watch Home Alone, actually. This is a favorite of mine. And it's funny because this was a movie that I used to watch all the time when I was a kid. Then I fell out of watching it. And then, like, 1 year, my sister got me the Blu-rays for Christmas. So we watched them. And what we did 1 year, we watched Home Alone. And then the following year, we watched Home Alone 2 because they were a set. And it was always something I meant to get on DVD, but I held off for some reason. And then they eventually put it on Blu-ray. And I was like, okay. Then I got it for Christmas. So I was like, cool.
I try to watch it every year with the other great Christmas movies, like Die Hard and Gremlins.
It's funny. The Drifters. There's the Drifters version of White Christmas is in this movie. The more rock and roll.
Yeah.
Type of version of White Christmas is in this movie, and that's featured in the movie Wild Card, starring Jason Statham, which I watched this past year. That also takes place at Christmas time, and that's where Jason Statham plays this kind of a jack of all trades type guy in Las Vegas, and let's just say he gets into trouble with the mob, and there's a lot of beating guys up and stuff, And like, there's a scene of him beating up a bunch of mafia guys in a Vegas bar to the tune of White Christmas, and I don't know. I actually found the movie to be good fun, which was a surprise to me. And there are a lot of little cameos by other actors in it too. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I think that's the last new Christmas movie I saw. Oh, I saw The Fat Man with Mel Gibson. Have you heard of that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like an ultra violent.
Yeah. Was that any good?
It was neat. It was him. It was like an action movie, but like basically a kid gets called for Christmas and hires a hitman to kill Santa Claus. Basically, okay, It's a violent film, but I got a kick out of it. Okay.
Are you saying Mel Gibson's in a violent film? That doesn't sound right.
All right. Let's revel in some terrible parenting. Yeah, are the parents that bad in this movie? They're not perfect, but I mean, when you're dealing with that much of a stressful environment, trying to get everything organized, and I'll say this is why they're not bad parents, okay? Especially the Catherine O'Hara character, she's horrified when she realized what has happened, and she does everything to get back home to her son. I think that says something, right? Okay.
That's true.
She feels guilt, okay? She made a mistake, yes, but, I mean, it's a big mistake, It's because that stupid neighbor kid, okay? It was really his fault.
Kind of was.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The one who talks to the moving guy and then, looks just like Kevin from behind, Anyway, we'll get to that in the movie.
And, back in the day, it was a lot easier to get into the wrong airplane, unlike today where it's very difficult to do that.
They forgot a kid, didn't remember until they were on the plane. Yes, but they did a count. They had, like the second cousin twice removed, do a count of all the kids, okay? They had to get to Paris, okay?
I know someone who routinely does not know where their child is. So that's as far as I can take that statement. It's not me, but I know someone who routinely does not know where their child is.
So. Okay.
And I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Okay. So, what on earth?
I know where all my dogs are right now. All 8 or 9 of them. So
they're all in your abode.
They are.
Okay, come on. Why am I not seeing the chat now?
Shall we start the play button?
We can. For some reason, you're full up, though. What did I do wrong here?
Yes, Troy's almost 50. Happy early birthday, Troy. His birthday is Friday? Is that what it was? Friday?
Yes.
Oh, And hello, Jedi Masters of Zootopia. You have like one of the coolest names in all of YouTube.
Oh, that's okay. I can see the comments in StreamYard. That'll be good enough. Okay. All right. And I'm doing this for my new laptop. Troy said I sounded better on it, so we'll see. Okay. How do I sound, everybody?
I think you sound fine.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Tell him no dog biscuit for him if he barks during the Angels with Dirty Faces scene. You know the one I'm talking about, right? That's the Professor Geek scene with the Nor scene.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of people are kind of restless tonight, so.
Yeah, well, I won't fault them there. Okay.
At least it's not storming out. So.
Y'all have never actually been parents, have you? I had a pet frog once. The pet frog died, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway. All right.
Press and play?
I think so. You want to do the 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, play.
Now, did you own this score growing up? I'm curious.
Yes, I have it. I still have it on tape, and I've got it. Every CD version that's come out, they've come out with a couple different ones. Each one having more score on it.
I had the tape version. Yeah, this might be one I'll look into getting more expanded. I did get a digital copy of it a couple Christmases ago, just to have it. I think it did. I usually get my digital stuff through Amazon. Because apparently, whenever you buy a CD off Amazon, they'll give you the digital copy with it. So I just got in the habit of buying digital on there. Yep. Interesting. So you get half the time you get a free MP3 copy with it. But here we have the intro. I like it. It's simple. Oh, go ahead.
Bruce Broughton was originally going to score this film, but he had to drop out, and they wanted John Williams, but they didn't think they had the money to pay him, and he cut down his fee to do the film.
I'm glad he did.
He wanted to do a Christmas film, so he cut his fee.
This is one of his best scores, in my opinion. I mean, it's or at least it's one of my favorites. I remember when this came out. I don't remember how I saw it. I believe I did see it theatrically upon its original release. I don't remember if it was during Christmas break or right after. Because this was the movie that everybody was seeing in theaters. Okay? You think, I mean, granted, Titanic was probably bigger than this, but like this was a huge movie when it came out, and I saw it. I loved it because I tended to like, and I don't know if I realized at the time that John Hughes had written the screenplay for it too, didn't he?
Yeah,
I believe so. And I was always a big fan of John Hughes movies growing up, and these wonderful 80s comedies. And in my opinion, this is one of his best stories I think he ever wrote. I mean, we got Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We got Weird Science, but and Christopher Columbus directed this. So,
who would later do one in the first and second Harry Potter?
That's what else I know him for. But I feel like I should know him for other things besides those. But when I thought, well, who's directing Harry Potter? Oh, the guy that directed Home Alone. Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, I could see that. Oh, Uncle Frank. We hate Uncle Frank, do we not?
Uncle Frank was in a whole lot of Law and Order episodes back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did he play different criminals?
No, he always played the same defense attorney.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Was he like a sleazy defense attorney?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of. And Troy, you live in Chicago. Do you know where this neighborhood is at? I know this house sold recently to someone new, and they completely redid it. It looks horrible now. In my opinion, it looks horrible.
I was making ornaments out of fish hooks.
Sounds like he can't use the old thing to do.
Well, yeah, they got the dry worm guts on. I'll say this: you're a kid. Decorating the tree is important. The adults, they don't care. They're worried about France. Okay, I mean, it's Christmas time. I don't want to travel abroad during Christmas time. I want to stay home. It's like...
Well, we usually go to Boston for the Boston Pops Christmas, but we're only there for like 3 nights. and it's not on Christmas.
That might be nice. We did take a trip up to St. Augustine, not on Christmas, but I think right after New Year's we went up there. Yeah, that was neat. I'm trying to remember now. Oh, here we go. Never packed a suitcase. Well, that's a thing about your kid. You got to pack a suitcase. It's like that's kind of a stressful thing, right?
Just figure out what you're gonna wear for the next couple of days. You know.
But I do have an article up. The Sound of Christmas. Sound of Christmas. John Williams scored a Home Alone, and this is kind of a neat intro. I'll read it to you. On December 14th, the Houston Symphony presents Home Alone film with live orchestra. So I guess this was back in 2018. They did a live. They did a live orchestra for the score.
I saw that. I think Nashville. I think it was 2018. They did that in Nashville. I went up for that. It was horrible. They did a horrible job. It was, oh God. But
okay, well,
I'm not discussing horrible things tonight. So
that's true. We'll keep it positive. For this film, Williams wrote several themes that define its sound. Two of which are given at the outset, mainly associated with the bungling burglars Harry and Marv. The cue known as the house reminds us of cold, darkness, and mystery. Mm-hmm.
Do me a favor. Give me a timestamp. Little cricket messed up. Cricket.
Oh my goodness, Cricket! What's wrong with you? I am at 5 minutes and 26 seconds, 27 seconds.
Okay.
5 minutes 32. Okay. We have Buzz. Williams, not Williams. John Hughes loved having older brothers that tortured their younger brothers. That seems to be a thing in his movies.
I think that's just part of life.
Yeah, I mean, you have. Oh, I like this story. The neighbor. I don't know. I think I saw this guy digging a garden a couple weeks back in the middle of winter. Huh? Why is he doing that? There was this old Unsolved Mysteries episode where this guy's he said his wife went away to stay with his with her sister, and then suddenly the neighbor said, "Why are you digging a rose garden in the middle of January?" And it's, well, you know how that goes. Anyway, it's not funny either, but I don't know. The reenactments they had on the old Unsolved Mysteries shows, and that's sort of what this reminds me of. Come on, though. There's always a creepy house in the neighborhood, right? Maybe not. Okay, I don't know.
Not in my neighborhood. There's some junky looking houses, but that's okay. If you want your house to be junky, more power to you.
I had this Weird United States book a while back, and they would talk about weird things in the United States, different states, and they talked about one where the owner kept all of these carnival dolls, I guess, nailed to the outside of his house.
Cause that ain't freaky at all.
like he won, I guess, for prizes, and over time they would get all decayed and everything, and it's yeah, I don't want to go there. Okay, that house.
Is the guy's first name Chris? Does he live in Louisiana?
I don't know. I'd probably be able to find out, but maybe I'll find out for you next week. I like this Joe Pesci. He's got the police officer's uniform, This is actually, in my opinion, a fairly clever ploy for a burglar. You show up dressed as a police officer, and then you can find out the security details of all the houses in the neighborhood,
That's
right?
True. And we at Soundtracks with Birdman are not advocating doing that at all.
So. No. That's $122.50. Not for me, kid. I don't live here. I hate the pizza guy. I'm kind of happy what happens to him later because I just don't like him. Uncle Frank is cheap.
Yeah, Uncle Frank's very cheap. So Uncle Frank, is it her brother or his brother?
That's a good point. I don't know. I'm sure it's cleared up somewhere in here whose brother it is. Always a lot of burglaries around the holidays. This is a nice house. This is like my dream house.
If I recall, it's like just over 5,000 square feet.
Huh.
Not counting the basement and the attic, which the attic is to die for.
I would love a nice big attic. That would be my
God,
dream.
wouldn't
Okay,
we all?
I would do nice things with that attic. But what can you do? All right, he wants his pizza.
Buzz ate his pizza.
Pizza ordering, I have to tell you, especially around like friends, is a big, in my opinion, a big trial in life because nobody ever wants the same thing. Okay.
It's very true. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of like classic toppings myself, but get a plain cheese. Everybody can eat that if you're ordering pizza, you know.
I worked with a guy, and when we ordered pizza, he couldn't eat dairy products.
Oh my goodness.
And he wouldn't eat meat, and he would just take everything off and eat the bread. I'm like, well, what's the point?
Did he eat the tomato sauce too?
I think he scraped that off as well.
Oh my goodness! I think there is a kind of a pizza in Italy that is just the sauce. They don't put cheese on it, but I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, this is a bit of a disaster here. And look, they're using all of the. I like how they're using all of the holiday napkins too. You know, the red and because it's like just to clean up a mess. What's the matter with you? He ate my pizza on purpose. And he's trying to explain, and what happens? This is what happens when you're a kid and you're getting blamed for something that isn't necessarily your fault, you know, or at least it's a cumulative thing, you know. No one listens to you; they're all looking at you. Kevin, you're such a disease. Shut up. I like how he defends himself, though. He's not taking it.
You know,
I mean,
if I had ever thought about talking to my mother or my grandparents like that, I would not be sitting down till next Christmas.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never called my mother a dummy, or my grandparents.
I don't like the pizza delivery guy. There's the hint, the gold tooth. That comes into play later. I'll say this though: the fact that he is so defiant, that I think that's kind of a foreshadowing of how he'll stick up to the burglars later. You know.
That's true. I just remember watching this in high school, and I'm like, what child would speak to their parents like that and not get smacked?
Well, he is getting punished. He's getting a timeout. Okay, you got to stay in the attic.
Ooh.
Well, I'm just saying.
I never had a timeout as a child.
You have to go up to the attic. You're not going to be able to get any dessert or any food tonight. I mean, he's going to bed without dinner. If you think about it, I mean.
Okay.
So he's not getting any dinner either. He'll peel over me. Fine, we'll put him somewhere else. I want to know what Fuller's story is. Okay.
It's Uncle Frank's child. I know that.
Oh my goodness. He wets the bed. Okay.
That's a sweet, sweet attic. Oh, Lord.
I'll say this too. Maybe another reason why he's not getting more punishment is she's got a lot on her plate. She's got to get everyone out to the airport. She doesn't have time for this nonsense. Okay. And she's very serious there when she's talking to him. You know, this is like like she's daring him, then say it again,
Yeah. I remember worst fight I think I ever had with my mother was like 5th grade. It was in the car. And I don't know what we were fighting about, but I said something and I was like, well, I didn't ask to be born. Smack! Oh, she smacked me.
That'd do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, we weren't raised to back talk or sass our parents. But.
I think I got the soap in my mouth for saying a cuss word once. Remember the Christmas story thing?
Yeah.
Actually, that'll be a good one. Maybe for some other time. Christmas. I don't know if that as a memorable score though. I'm trying to remember who made that one. But we got Saint Nick. Is this a Christmas wish? It's a Christmas wish movie without Lacey Chabert in it.
Now, like the We Slept In music, um, that's like one of the signature pieces on the soundtrack, of course.
It is. That was in the commercials. They played it in every commercial. Yeah.
It was. And,
they're like, have you seen Home Alone yet? Hey, Christmas is over. We don't care. You want to see it again? I'm thinking, yeah, I want to see it again. I don't care. I want to live in this movie. This movie is fascinating. I'm sorry. This was. I don't think this is an 80s movie. I think we're in the 90s at this point.
This is a 90s movie. Yeah,
the early 90s, and it's. We slept in. This is a nice house. I'm sorry.
It is. Like the last Christmas concert, the Boston Pops, they always play this because of the connection with John Williams.
Of course.
And Keith Lockhart says, this is what we call a whole lot of notes and not a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a lot of notes in it. If Sound Engraver was here, she could tell us all about musical notes.
Oh, here we go. In their misguided attempt to celebrate Christmas in Paris, the McAllisters literally forget the youngest, most vulnerable member of the family, Kevin. The Q holiday flight sets up the chaos of the missed alarm clock and the family's rush to the airport. A clever parody of the famous Trepek from the Nutcracker. This cue imitates the character and structure of Tchaikovsky's original, but the thematic material is absolutely original. If anything, it is more hectic. Williams has energetic low strings, compa figures in the upper strings, fast runs, cymbal crashes on upbeats, and racing orchestral bells to create a mood of hustle and bustle. Okay. So here we go. We're all going to do the count. This does not strike me as fun to me going to Paris. It's not even that I wouldn't want to go to Paris. I don't know. Actually, never mind. I'm keeping my mouth shut. Okay.
I don't think I'd want to go to Paris for Christmas.
No. Even when I was a kid, I want to stay home for Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like going to other people's houses around the holidays. Okay, let me just stay here.
I do like the girl doing the counting. She's awfully cute.
Yes. So here we go. And we don't see her again. I don't think we even see her again after she does an
briefly in Paris.
Yeah, and that's it. She's gone. It's sort of her fault that Kevin's not there. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of is, but I'll forgive her.
Yes. Oh, I like this. There's very good a setup here. The phone lines are down, so they can't call home either. Okay.
Yeah. Exposition done well in 1992 or 1991. Which one was it?
I'm thinking 91, but I'm not sure. I'm expecting that they fixed the power, but they didn't fix the phone lines. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because their alarm clock had to have gone off.
Have you been to Chicago O'Hare Airport before, H. Boomer?
No.
It looks nothing like it does in this movie. At least the part I've been in, it doesn't look like it.
I took a bus into Chicago once, but that's the only time I've ever even been to Chicago. It was to see a concert. It was a long time ago. Okay.
Oh, American Airlines.
This is a nice. I'd like to fly in coach. I've never flown in coach. Coach, have you?
Well, it's coach or first class. So.
Oh, sorry. I've never flown first class.
Okay. I have one time I got an upgrade because they overbooked the flight and I waited for the next flight. And they're like, you can take the next flight, but it'll be in first class. It's like, okay. Then we'll give you a $200 voucher. Okay. And a free meal. Okay. I mean, what am I going to argue about?
What was the meal like?
Oh, no, it was like a meal voucher for the airport. You could, wherever you want to go, you get a free meal in the airport.
Oh, so like there's a TJ Fridays there. You can just stop in and
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Which at the airport's like $50.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I remember flying in planes though. I mean, I didn't fly in a plane until I was like in my early 20s either. But it was a bigger deal back in the day. They used to bring you out a little snack.
Yeah.
What do you want? I want the peanuts. And what do you want to drink? I'll have a ginger ale. Peanuts and ginger ale. They're good for flights. But you don't get that anymore, at least not on the flights I go on. It's all cheap now. You got to pay for the stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
And Melissa Harris makes a comment about John Candy cameo. He got paid next to nothing to be in this film. He pretty much did. I mean, they had to pay him, but I think it was like a few $100s.
Why did he star in it then?
He wanted to do the film.
Interesting. John Candy. Oh, I was so sad when he passed away. Big favor of comedy movies in the 80s. Great Outdoors, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Uncle Buck. Trying to think what else I said.
That was a John Hughes film too.
Yes. No, Macaulay Culkin was in it. It was maybe a year before this. He's even younger in that one, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's funny. What is it? The young Macaulay Culkin in that movie, he uses those two words that Troy and Nanette don't like, of course. And when he does it in the one scene, though, the teacher yells, "Blasphemer!" Which is a funny scene. But here we go. Dad, imagine waking up and your parents aren't there when you're a kid. I don't know. Like getting a pizza all to yourself, that's a big deal when you're a kid, right?
Yeah, that is. Unlike when you're an adult, it's just, commonplace.
You think when you got brothers and sisters, you're the youngest, you think you're getting that last piece, you can forget it.
my sister and we would order pizza a lot.
Yeah.
Back in like middle school. And she found a coupon one night. It was like, buy one, get one for 99 cents. And she's like, you want to do this? And I'm like, sure thing. And we ordered the pizza, and the guy showed up at the door, and she handed me the coupon and 99 cents. I was like, well, what's this? She's like, well, I got the 99-cent pizza. And I was like, oh.
Oh no.
and that's my sister right there. That's a good story.
Well, there you go.
Oh.
It's only my imagination. Does the furnace monster work for you?
Yeah.
It did when I was younger. Now I think
I was frightened of the refrigerator after Ghostbusters when I was his age.
Oh,
so
really?
The furnace, I totally bought. Weren't you?
I didn't like my bedroom window late at night when I was a kid. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but like because I was like on the second floor, and of course it was dark outside, and of course there was a cemetery across the street from where we lived, so that didn't help matters, So. Actually, it was the cemetery house that was across the street, the caretaker house.
Oh, that's even worse.
So you could see it across with the big steps going up several flights. It's like, I made my family disappear, and now he's thinking back. And I love how it's all done differently. He's remembering it differently in his head. They're much nastier in his head. You're such a disease. Okay. Jumping on the bed. That's what you do. Who doesn't want to jump on the bed? Oh, you can't do it when you're an adult because you hit the ceiling. Okay.
Yeah, unless you got vaulted ceilings.
Yeah. No running in the house. Oh, no one's here to tell you that. Oh. All right, let's look in here. Put that back. It's the Playboy.
The picture of Buzz's girlfriend is actually a boy that they made up to look like a girl because they didn't.
Is that a newscasters issue?
Newscasters.
I thought I saw newscasters on the cover. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Yeah, well, the old days. Anyway, Buzz's girlfriend. Think they'd be able to make this movie today?
No.
There'd be something objectionable in it, probably.
Yeah.
I should hunt the Siskel and Ebert review of this, see if they liked it. I already know it's gonna be a split review, I bet.
Did you have a BB rifle growing up?
I did not. I never asked for one, but I wouldn't have mind getting one. I had cap guns. caps.
Yeah,
you'd shoot
yeah.
them and the smoke would come out. I don't remember if I ever asked for a BB gun and that was a denied thing. Skateboard, that was denied. That was like a no. Okay.
Skateboards are dangerous. BB guns are fun.
I know. Well, the point is that here we go. Now, I do not think that this is an actual movie. I think they made this for this movie.
They did. I
Okay.
wish that they would like crowdfund like this actual movie.
That happens a lot. I remember on The Sopranos, one of the guys in there was making a horror movie, like with one of their lower, because they had ties to like a low budget studio, and it was called Cleaver, and they had Daniel Baldwin. And I'm thinking the people who made the show should have actually shot a whole feature, and released it separately from the show, because what I saw was funny.
Well, Troy seems to have all the info on that magazine for you.
Oh, really? I'm looking at the street. I'm looking at the comments now. Let's see. Okay, I will not be looking that up later. Okay.
And I just gotta say, if he had shot that guy with a Tommy gun at that range, that door would have been destroyed.
It's okay. Well, you know what? We can't afford to break the door. Okay, it's not in this film's budget. Okay,
and that probably would have been too violent for the film.
This looks like a B gangster movie from the 50s, not something from even the 40s. This looks like something that was like on the B reel. Okay,
that's true.
You get with your Cary Grant picture. Okay, it's like. Oh, I love the earlier. We have the scene earlier with Uncle Frank telling the wife to hide the silverware. This is real silver. Hide it.
You do get better food in first class, though, or at least you did. And you get more leg room.
I have to say, when I was a kid, I did used to have a bit of a crush on Catherine O'Hara. I'm not going to deny that now. Okay. The mom in this. She was actually, she used to be on SCTV. Do you remember that? The Canadian show? You never saw that?
We didn't get much Canadian shows down in Alabama.
SCTV was the Canadian version of Saturday Night Live. It's where, I believe, John Candy, got his start. Also, I think Eugene Levy, Joe Flaherty got their starts on that show. It was like a spoof show. I think you can catch clips of it on YouTube, but she was also one of the regulars on there too. I think it was going on around the same time as SNL. But they used to have John Candy come on. He would do Dr. Tongue's house. It was always like Joe Flaherty would play Count Floyd. He was like a B horror movie host, and then they would show the movie, and it would have John Candy as Dr. Tongue, and it'd be like Dr. Tongue's House of Cats, Dr. Tongue's this, It was like, I don't know, it's a funny clip. I do not like Uncle Frank. There's always an Uncle Frank, though, isn't there? It's horrible, just horrible.
It's like, I forgot my reading glasses.
I forgot my reading glasses, yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think that there was we had it on videotape. There was like I think it must have been an HBO or Showtime series that never made it. It was called Really Weird Tales. And it was like a spoof series, but it was like Twilight Zone type episodes. But it was like a spoof, right? And they had Martin Short in one, John Candy in another, and Catherine O'Hara was in one too, But they were all like spoofy type stories. But it was supposed to be like a Twilight Zone style series. I remember her from that. Here we go. All right. What are the thieves' names again? Frank and
Marv and
Frank
Harry.
And Marv. Marv and Harry. Okay. Why am I Oh, Frank's the uncle. Never mind. Okay. Marv and Harry. Larry. Never mind. That's the silver tuna.
And Daniel Stern wasn't originally cast. It was someone else. He dropped out. I'm forgetting why.
Oh, I love Daniel Stern in this. I don't know why we haven't seen more of him. Okay. I remember him from a horror movie called Chud, which stood for Cannibalistic Human Underground Dwellers. Okay.
Oh yeah, that movie. I never saw it. I saw those commercials and they scared me.
Yeah, it's kind of a creepy movie. I might argue they weren't really human though, so I don't know why. I think they just put that in. They just wanted to call the movie Chud. Okay, you see Chud, you're like, what's that about, right? He's eating nothing but ice cream. You will get a tummy ache. Okay, this will happen. All right. I'm thinking Peter and the Wolf, though. When you hear the soundtrack to this, too, I'm almost thinking Peter and the Wolf.
It is very thematic.
It reminds me a little
Like
bit of Peter and the Wolf. I don't know why. Okay. See if we got anything on this. But he's a smart kid. We have to give him points. Okay.
He is. He is.
Um, I'm telling you though, the first night in one of the apartments I was in, right? I did have my cable. I didn't have cable yet or anything, or my TV hooked up, or I didn't even have internet yet, right? So I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Let me read a book. So I pick out like I had like a book of weird ghost stories, and of course, the first one I read is about two guys in their first apartment, and about the terrible things that went on there. And I'm like, this was the wrong thing for me to read. My first night in the apartment. Like one of them had to do, they when they're staying in the weird room, they found a frog in a jar of formaldehyde and a pencil was shoved inside it, right?
Well,
and then later on, they found the pencil and the frog outside. No one else had been in the apartment. And, it was like this. No. You know what? This is an emergency, French lady. Her son is home alone. Who plays her husband in this again? I've seen him in other
John
things.
Hurd.
Yeah, he shows up in stuff, but he
was on some Law and Order episodes back in the day, but he never had a reoccurring role.
Yeah, he'll show up in movies as like a character actor,
See now, John Williams wrote 2 songs for this movie, Somewhere in My Memory, and then Star of Bethlehem, which is totally obscured in the movie. But the music for it is used for this guy, who is supposed to be like creepy.
Well, that's the point, though. He's not really creepy. Okay.
No, he's not. He's not. But the kids think he is. And musically, you're kind of led to believe that he is.
I'm trying to remember. I think I had seen The Burbs a little while earlier before this movie. And if you ever see The Burbs is all about Tom Hanks sitting in his house and the creepy neighbors and what are they up to. So I was kind of getting Burbs flashbacks with that guy. I'm thinking, oh, just one of these things now. Is he burying people in the backyard, or making salt mummies out of them, as Buzz told him, I mean, you're not really surprised when you find out, no, that's just a bunch of nasty rumors being spread about him. But, oh, I love this. I can believe this, right? This back and forth. I have a son who's home alone. Has the child been involved in a violent with a drunken or mentally ill member of his immediate family? Oh, the donut gets on the phone. Does he lick that off?
No, but he should.
That's what I was thinking when I was watching this. I'm like, this is like so unsanitary. You could not get away with this in the workplace today. Okay. Especially with what's going on.
Yeah.
Use the phone at my job. You better wipe it down. That's what that's saying. We couldn't get anybody. Everyone's out for the week. That's kind of asking for trouble, but I'm assuming that everybody figures, hey, we have the we pay for the anti theft stuff on the house. We're good. That's what I'm assuming is going on, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of oboe in this score.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave me alone. I need to eat more donuts.
I used to listen to this score over and over and over again. Who's playing the police officer here?
Oh, I don't know.
I almost thought it was the dad from that '70s show, but I could be wrong. Okay.
What? Troy's got all the cool friends. Check that out.
Who? What? I'm not
Troy said he's got a friend that was a stand-in for Daniel Stern in this film.
What? Well, good for him. I like the French receptionist. She was nice.
Yeah, she's nice. I talked briefly with Al today, and he said he was watching Sabrina all day on Netflix, and I'm like, well, I can look at her all day too,
Wait a minute. The Teenage Witch? Oh, the
Yeah.
new show.
Yeah.
How old is that actress? Just out of curiosity.
She's in her 20s. She's in her 20s.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I remember her from Mad Men.
Really?
She was on Mad Men. She was Don Draper's daughter on that. She was younger on that show.
Okay.
They're all going to leave her. She's going to wait by. That's what a mother does. She's going to get home at all costs.
If I needed to get home with my dogs, I'd wait at the airport. Someone get me on a plane, I'll wait. Usually with my film scores, I just like the film score. If there's a song in the movie, I don't want the song. I just want the film score. But with Home Alone, I like having the Christmas songs on there as well.
I agree. The aftershave. That's always taken out of context on the cover of the video, cover of the poster. He's not screaming about the burglars. He's screaming about putting the aftershave on his cheeks after they're wet. I think
we all do that, which is why we don't use aftershave.
Yes. Anyway, what did I want to say though? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pause. This is the stepping up. Oh, have you ever done this? Try to get something off a shelf and everything falls on top of you.
Thank God, no.
I think this has happened to me a couple times in my life. Yes. Okay. He really messed it up too. I'm sorry. And it's Buzz, and we don't care. That's the thing. It's like...
And the little spider creature runs off.
Forgot what I was going to say a minute ago now. I got distracted by this. I did own this on audio cassette, though. I was obsessed with this movie at one point. I do remember that. This was, when I was a kid, I would live in movies, and this was one of them.
I remember the tape got a whole lot of playtime on my Walkman.
Yep, me too. I think it would de-stress me out from school. I would listen to it while having to do homework or something, or he's a little. You could tell he's annoyed. Okay. Because he just wants to steal stuff, but he's not going to destroy the person's house, right? Okay. But not Marv, right?
I'd be so irritated if someone broke into my house and trashed it.
I know, because just take the stuff you want, get out, okay? It's like I was watching a horror movie recently about young people that go around robbing houses, and the one guy urinates on the rug, and I'm like, come on, okay? It's one thing to steal, that's bad enough, but you got to deface the house too. Come on.
I do like his toboggan. I wouldn't mind having that toboggan.
The shoplifting scene. Is this approved by the American Dental Association? Herb, here we go. Pass it off. It's your job. You know what someone asks when they said if it's approved by the American Dental Association? You say, I'm not sure. And then when you realize you can't answer, say, oh, yeah, I remember now. Yes, it is. Take it home with you. Okay. You know?
It's here we go. Musically again, we're introducing the neighbor guy as being menacing.
Well, he does have a bloody hand.
Oh, we've all had a bloody hand from time to time.
I don't know. At Christmas time, I don't know. And he's just staring at him. He's not saying, hello, young man. No, he's like looking at him, puzzling. And, hey, son, you got to pay for that toothbrush. Jimmy. I think of Jimmy Olsen when I see this guy. It's before he got the job at the Daily Planet. Officer, shoplifter. It's like, you better go back and pay for that toothbrush later, Kevin. That we never see a resolution to that anyway. I know you're thinking next time he goes to the store, they'll recognize him, but frankly, 2 weeks go by, you're not going to recognize him.
You're not.
So it's like. I recommend a Chud and Chud 2 rewatch. Well, I don't know what the score is like for Chud, Melissa. That might be more of a Big Al thing because I'm thinking Chud. That could be.
I know how I do with horror movies, which is not well. I guess one thing that Professor Geek and I have in common is our we don't like horror movies very much.
When I was a child, I would not watch any of the R-rated stuff. Of course, I shouldn't have been anyway since I was a child, but I didn't want to get nightmares. That was my big thing with them.
Yeah.
And I think as I got older, it became like a test of courage. I would gradually watch one. I tell you, one from my childhood that freaked me out was the Pet Cemetery, the one based on the Stephen King novel. Ooh,
the one with Denise Crosby in it.
Yep, and the guy who played Herm Munster's in it too. Yeah, that was a creepy one. Chud 2 isn't terribly scary though. What? Who is that in the screen?
That's Cricket.
Okay. We're the wet bandits. You're sick. You really know that? He's right. You got to flood someone's house. That might cause more damage than the stuff you're stealing, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really. I mean, stop it. We don't need that. Don't tell me what to do. I'm an artist, okay? Oh. Hey, you gotta watch out for traffic, son, Yeah, sorry. Sandy, don't visit funeral homes. Yes, I know. These are like two guys that don't have kids. You can tell by the way they're talking. Merry Christmas. Yeah. And he looks at him and he's kind of terrified and he's just gonna walk. Now, to be fair, I think Kevin gets shocked, but then he tries to play it off normal. Yeah. But Joe Pesci's smart too, and he's like, something about that kid. Why do I recognize him? Okay. So, maybe you didn't immediately recognize him. Maybe there's something in your subconscious that knows you saw this person before, right? Okay, so. That's interesting. Christmas time in New Jersey, we didn't tend to get snow. Once in a while we would, but it would be very cold, but no snow, Snow usually hit in January.
We've had one white Christmas here in my lifetime. And I think that was the first white Christmas since like, I don't know, like 1800 and something.
Oh
Here
yeah,
comes in
Melissa,
others.
it is the horror film with the blind veteran who attacks the people trying to rob him. Yeah, that's the one. I think it's called Don't Breathe. Yes, that was a creepy one. Again, tastes vary, so I'm not, and that's not anyone I'd recommend because it gets a little grody in a couple parts. But it was interesting in that the people in the movie. One thing I always got tired in horror movies that they're usually about these when they have teenagers or young people. They're usually from the nice part of town, upper middle class or whatnot. But no, not these. These were robbing. These were robbing places, and they kind of lived like in the bad part of town. So I thought that was more interesting. Okay, he's hiding by the manger. That's a nice nativity scene, actually.
It is. It is. I can't imagine what that light bill would be.
Kind of wish it was Christmas now. I did my best, but it didn't feel like Christmas this year, But,
Why? Any like reason why you think, or
no, yeah, probably a whole mess of reasons.
whole mess of reasons?
It was funny. I do watch Japanese animation sometimes, and I watched Gundam Wing, and there's like this big final battle on Gundam Wing. And then they do like a special that takes place a year later, and nobody realized when the final battle was taking place that it was actually Christmas, because
Oh,
the whole
that's
world, the world and the colonies were so caught up in their war that they weren't even paying attention to. Here we go. I think this is the White Christmas. Yeah, this is the Drifters' White Christmas, and you can hear this also in Wild Card with Jason Statham when he beats up a bunch of mafia flunkies in a Vegas bar at Christmas time. Because why not? Okay,
I don't think I've ever seen a Jason Statham movie.
Wild Card wouldn't be a bad one to start with. He's what I would call he's one of the better actioners. He's not action stars. He's not like I mean, I don't know if anyone will ever be quite up there with Stallone and Schwarzenegger, but he wasn't a bad substitute that came on later. He's typically like this. He always plays an English guy because I guess he is English, so and he was in the Transporter movies.
See in the Expendables, one of the Expendable movies.
Yeah, he's in all of them actually. In fact, I argued at the time. I almost wish this was just a Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham team up movie because when they're on screen, just the two of them, and I think it works really well. He was the one who was his girlfriend was Charisma Carpenter in those movies. Yeah. I have to tell you, everything about this trip to France, it's like completely unappealing to me. They're sitting around in this stodgy place watching a French version of It's a Wonderful Life, eating the shrimp cocktail. Just this is not fun for me. This would not be fun for me. I'm telling you. The Game Boy would be getting a lot of mileage on this trip. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out who Buzz takes after, mom or dad.
Maybe Uncle Frank. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Sometimes kids don't always take after either parent. Sometimes they're a thing of their own. But yeah,
that's true. My mother said the other day that my sister takes after.
Also, you have to
I never knew. So
also, I will say this too. Sometimes people grow and mature and get out of the stupid phase of their life. The bullying older brother can become a decent man when he's older, but it's
that's true.
So who knows? It could be after I have the parents. I don't know.
And it's your favorite pizza delivery boy.
I don't like him.
I know I was being funny.
I didn't like him in the beginning either. He's one of these. Okay, what about the money? What money? What money? You have to pay for your pizza, sir. And I'm like, how much do I owe you? It's $11.80, sir. Actually, not too much changes, does it? Okay. Pizza prices, I think, remain fairly similar throughout the time. I guess that means they were gouging us back then. You can get a Domino's pizza for like $8 carry out.
God, I haven't had Domino's in forever.
It's okay. It's a go-to when you've got nothing else. Okay.
Although my best friend works for Domino's corporate office, he does the accounting.
They have good pepperoni. I do like their that chain's pepperoni. It's pretty good. But actually, I might say maybe out of the chains, I'm trying to think. There's a chain I like more than them.
Do you have Papa John's in Florida?
We do. They're okay. I'm trying to. I usually just go to a local pizza place in town, though, if I can. But
We
they're
don't
not
have a
open
lot of
on
those
Sundays.
around here at
Yeah.
all.
You don't?
No, everything's Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut. That's about it.
Pizza Hut went downhill. I'm sorry. Once in a while I'll go there, but I remember when I was a kid, the dine-in Pizza Huts, they were a big deal. Okay, they were like
They
a real
were.
restaurant. Okay, that's what Professor Geek was making a point about when he did his '80s thing on the group page, and he had the plastic, the fake red plastic, but it looks like glass, but it's plastic. They used to have those at Pizza Hut. You get like the pitcher of Pepsi for the table, or the pitcher of root beer, or whatever, and she's got her own earrings, whole box full of dangly ones. I feel like this actor plays old men in movies a lot. Okay.
He does. She plays old women a lot too.
Yes. In fact, was she in Ernest Saves Christmas?
Professor
I think she
Geek would
was.
know.
I think she was. I think she was the old lady that befriends the guy. I forget his real name in the movie, but the one who was Santa Claus. The old man. I think she befriends him. I think she was in Ernest Saves Christmas. Watching Johnny Carson. Did you ever watch Johnny Carson?
More Jay Leno, because by that time I was
Yeah.
in college.
I think I was more of a Letterman kid, and I can't. Don't get me started on them now. I can't watch any of them now. They're just not good. I used to like Conan, actually. Conan was my favorite out of all the late night hosts. But
I've never been one to stay up late. Especially this winter. It's like the sun goes down, the dogs get fed at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and within an hour I'm in bed, and it's like it's over. And then it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm like, what time is it? It's time to get up.
oh, so you're an early riser. Interesting. No, I'm a night owl myself.
Well, God bless you people. I don't
Actually,
see how you do it.
it's probably better to be an early riser. You're probably better off being that way. I might split the difference one day and just go to midnight and go to bed at midnight, because that's not early, but it's not late either. Go to bed at midnight, get up at 8 o'clock. Here we go, screaming. He keeps doing it because that's what adults do. They put the aftershave on.
Like wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning?
What?
You mean like wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning?
I've done it. I have to do it for work. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
I'm up at like 5.
Well, happy trails to you.
Yeah. The house is so quiet at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
no one else is up.
She is a bit of a busybody, this cashier.
She is. It's like, mind your own business, lady.
She's not bad in the beginning when he's making conversation, but then she's like, where are your parents? A kid can buy groceries in a store. It's not that he's not buying alcohol, okay?
Yeah.
I would once on an occasion walk down to the grocery store and pick up a couple things.
Or like cough syrup. I bought cough syrup for $1.50 the other day, and I had to show an ID to buy children's cough syrup.
I have to tell you, one thing I miss about being a kid was the 80s was the era of the frozen pizza, okay? And the frozen pizzas they have now are it's your stream, I'll be polite. They're not good, okay? All right. I suspect frozen food was better in the 80s. I think they use cheaper ingredients now.
I think your taste hadn't matured. I think that's what it is.
Maybe. It's like half the time to get even a halfway decent frozen pizza, you're going to pay what you could pay just by going down to Domino's or even going to a local pizza place. What's the point? I'll say this though, there was one flatbread I got in Orlando in the grocery store where it was like a garlic pepperoni pizza, and the mozzarella on it was shaped in the form of garlic cloves. It was the neatest thing. Okay, They weren't bad. I think they were Palermo's. I don't know if they sold them and still sell them.
Costco's got a pretty tasty pepperoni pizza that's frozen.
Yeah. Hello, Kevin. Is it talking to him?
Yeah.
Did you hear "Hello, Kevin" in the theatrical version? I have my captions on right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the "I'm not afraid anymore" scene? Or did that already happen? Yeah, never mind.
That already happened. Yeah.
Okay. Something ain't right. Go check it out. I love this.
I would just find another house. I would just move on. If you're questioning if someone's home.
This is Ahab and the whale, okay? He wants that house, okay?
Why do they have a dog door when they don't have a dog?
Walmart has frozen cheese stick pizza. Oh, that's weird. Is that like mozzarella sticks in the shape of a pizza? Here we go. Now we're using the Scame skit again, and it's funny, but not as funny as when he did it with the
pizza guy.
Boy. And that's fine. And I'm wondering if maybe it's just because I'm in the audience, I'm hearing the same joke twice, and this one's not quite as good as well. Though he just put the firecrackers in the pot. That was smart. Smart kid.
Now he does a similar thing in the second movie, with a different clip.
Oh, I think he does, or maybe from the sequel movie or something, right?
Yeah, he scares the bellhop person away.
Yeah, played by what's his name?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Oh yeah. I was a big Tim Curry fan at the time, and I was happy to see him in a Home Alone movie because he did a lot of voices on cartoons I liked, so I was happy to see him in the Home Alone movie. But.
Yeah, he was in the Annie movie back in the 80s.
Really?
Yes.
That's one I need to rewatch. I haven't seen Annie since I was like 5 years old. Okay.
They had it at the Motion Picture Show a couple weeks back, and I went and saw it, and I was like, Bernadette Peters, Tim Curry, of course, Carol Burnett,
Albert Finney, right? He was Daddy
Albert
Warbucks.
Finney.
Yeah,
is Warbucks. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was confused because I thought Daddy Warbucks was Lex Luthor from the Superman movie. I got them confused because they were both bald. I remember that being, this is strange. Is that the guy from Superman? Why he's all right here? Because I think I was like 4 or something. So. Oh, Melissa says that scene has climactic. Kevin goes from being afraid to becoming a cross between John Rambo and Jake Saw. It's interesting. People mentioned he goes up to be the guy from the Saw films. This movie, though, in a way, is a comedic version of a movie called Straw Dogs that was directed by Sam Peckinpah from the early 70s. And that movie ends with a climactic scene of Dustin Hoffman, Welsh rednecks are trying to get into his house, and he's setting up all these traps around the house. Okay. And that's a much more dramatic and violent and kind of nastier picture than this, obviously. But when I'm watching that, and I'm thinking, wow, movies like this and Home Alone aren't all that different, If
you just change the tone a little bit, you've got an entirely different film.
Oh, that'd be a funny YouTube experiment. Get the John Williams score for this movie and play it over the scenes from Straw Dogs where he's I mean, Sam Peckinpah, he's known for his violent movies, and I think that one was more violent than The Wild Bunch, and that's saying a lot, John Candy. John Candy here to save the day, okay?
He died from a heart attack, was it?
I believe so, yes. I was not happy when he passed on. I think he was in the last movie he was in was Wagons East. That was the big anticipated. Because, back in the day, a lot of the time you went to see movies because they had actors in it you liked, okay? It wasn't necessarily because it was a genre type movie. I would go to see, is John Candy in it? I'm game, okay? Is Sylvester Stallone's for in it? Sure, I'll go see it. You went to go see movies based more on that than... I mean, story was nice too and all that other, but it really was a star system back then.
Do you think those days will ever come back?
I don't know. I've thought about this. I complain about this on Study Hall. I say they are not cultivating stars like they used to. And as much as people say, "Oh, MCU," and I think even Anthony Mackie had a thing at a conference once. How he was saying people are no longer paying. They're not paying to see Anthony Mackie on the screen. They're paying to see Falcon. Whereas in the old days, it would have been the other way around. And he was making a good point. And I don't know. And I wonder if we are going to go back to a star system again. Because if you think of even the first Star Wars movie, I mean, yeah, people say, well, they cast up-and-coming stars. Yeah, but they also had Peter Cushing and Alec Guinness in there, and they were known actors, the one who played Obi-Wan and General Tarkin, Governor Tarkin, and it's just, yeah. Sing, Oliver, that's an order from your commander-in-chief. What is that a quote from?
Annie.
Oh, well, like I said, I haven't seen it since I was like 5. Edward Herman will always be FDR to me first. Then the grandfather from Gilmore Girls. I can see him definitely as FDR. Oh, Edward Herman. Yes, I can totally see that. Yeah, he was wonderful in The Lost Boys too.
The Boston Pops did Home Alone 2 Christmases ago after the Christmas concerts. Like, I think it was December 28th, 29th, and 30th. And I was like, man, that would be worth seeing because they would do a good job. And I thought, I could go up and see Home Alone on like the 30th, and I could see the New Year's Eve concert on the 31st, and then fly home New Year's Day. Because hotels in Boston are pretty cheap around Christmas time. But I didn't go because work was like, well, you just took off to go up to Boston like 2. Whatever, shut up. Moral of the story is I should have gone because God knows when I'll be able to go again.
I know. Look, Joe Pesci's peeking through the window. Dad, can you come here and help me? He knows he knows it's like the kid knows and they know. It's like they both know what's going on now. Okay. Well, if the kid's there, the parents got to be, he's home alone. There's the title. Okay.
At what age, dear parents of the chat, do you leave your child home alone? What's a good age to start doing that? Because I will just put mine in a crate or in the backyard and come back in a few hours.
I'm trying to
But I hear you can't do that with a child. They'll put you in jail or something.
I think I was in middle school when I was being allowed to be home alone. I think I'm trying to think now. I would come home. I would watch the. Actually, I had a whole routine when I was a kid. I would watch the cartoons on the afternoon, like DuckTales. Then I would watch reruns of Different Strokes and The Facts of Life because I like to torture myself.
Facts of Life.
This is bad shows. Okay.
Who was your Facts of Life crush back in the day?
I don't know. Probably the spoiled woman.
Blair?
Probably Blair, yeah.
I
don't care.
I
I
have
know you
about
like
Joe.
Joe. You like Joe.
Yeah.
I know. Yes. Okay. That's a safe answer. Anyway, no, I'm sorry. I don't know that I'm trying to think if I had any crushes back then though. I don't think they came from television shows. I'm trying to think. Oh, the one sister on not the show that was on after Family Matters. I don't remember what it was called. Uh, Suzanne Summers was on it.
Oh, yeah, with Patrick Duffy.
Patrick Duffy was they married. It was like sort of like a Brady
It's
Bunch thing where they
like the
married
Brady
in.
Bunch, yeah, but it wasn't.
And I liked the one sister on there. I remember that. Uh,
Miss Garrett. Are you sure about that, Troy? Miss Garrett.
Mrs. Garrett. Hey,
Well, we've
Mrs.
got 2 votes for Blair.
Yeah, I think I
Anyone
like
wants
Blair
to
as well.
Jedi Masters Utopia? Are you still here? Back me up here. Back me up for Joe. Come on,
I
baby.
think Blair's the unattainable, and that's the draw. Like she's the rich girl that would be too prissy. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
But her dad went to jail for like stock embezzlement or something, and she lost all her money.
That was interesting. Yeah, well, that's interesting. She probably became. I wonder if she became better friends with Joe after that. Probably
so.
She got knocked off her perch a little bit, so now they can be friends more. Oh, I like this Santa Claus here, actually.
Thank you, Jedi Masters Utopia, Joe, for sure. Thank you. I love you. I have no idea who you are.
Now I might
but
pick
I love
Joe
you.
as I'm older and wiser. But back then it was Blair. I remember that.
Okay.
Trudy was cute when she got the braces off. I'll say that. Okay.
She was cute with the braces.
No, I think at that point she was like one of the younger kids. When she got older, she was better. Okay, here you go. Don't spoil your dinner. Yeah, I like he gives the Tic Tacs. I actually like this Santa's helper. He's not a jerk. He's one of the better adults in this movie. He's, he says the right thing. He doesn't promise the kid, but he says, I'll see what I can do. Okay. And that at least gives Kevin a little bit of hope on the way home, right? Okay.
Troy, I think there's a movie on the internet about that. I'm sure you can find it.
What's the quote? I want to see modern remake to find out where you find out the player has a thing. Okay, yes. Well, yes. That'll be on.
And here we have the Somewhere in My Memory song actually come into words. We've heard the music throughout the film, but now we actually have the chorus. And it was written by Leslie Brickus, who wrote a lot of John Williams songs over the years.
It's a very longing theme, like you're longing for family, you're longing for Christmas,
it is.
You're longing for that time of year, and I get it. I think we all, hopefully, if all of us had halfway decent childhoods, we have that longing as well, But he's gonna go to church. I don't know if you're gonna be welcome in there. You stole that toothbrush.
Yeah, you're going to hell.
I'm thinking too. I don't know. It's one of those things where you might want to go in and pay for it later. Hey, sorry, I got spooked by the old man, and then like the police officer saw he's right there, and I'm sorry, you're gonna be processed now. It's like it's like a 98 toothbrush. It's like
this first time this has occurred to me. They went to Paris for Christmas. Oh Holy Night was originally written in French. It's a French Christmas carol.
Well, there you go.
And if you have someone who can sing, I mean someone who can truly sing, and they sing it in the original French, oh Lord, it is beautiful.
Oh, that's a pity. I have the Celtic Woman Christmas CD and DVD set. I think that's on there, but I think they do sing it in English, but I think they sing Silent Night in German though. So I guess they
Silent Night in Gaelic. It's very beautiful.
Maybe they did it in Gaelic too. I don't know. They might have done it in all the languages. It's a nice church.
Yeah.
All right. And I actually like how the like we said the album itself did come with these Christmas songs from the movie on it.
Yeah.
that are sung. They're on there, and it's a nice variety. You get like some of the more modern, like the Drifters, White Christmas, and you get like the Carol of the Bells.
I think this is probably the most touching scene in the entire movie.
It is, and it's it's like this time of year. He and his son had a big fight, and it's like, well, I don't want to, what if he won't talk to me? Well, at least then you'll know. And it's like sometimes from the mouth of babes, right? That the kid knows is wiser than a lot of adults. Just go talk to him. But he's explaining too about rumors, and this is true. Sometimes falsehood gets spread about around people.
Just like real quick, the song "There's Star of Bethlehem, Star on High," that's the other song John Williams wrote for this film that's been used throughout the film as the old man's like menacing theme. Here you have it being sung, but it's in the background. So the song that John Williams, like the best film composer ever, wrote for a film is getting sidelined for a conversation. I find that amazing because John Williams wrote a song for a film that's getting sidelined for conversation. I mean, ponder that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
They could have used a different song, and the Star of Bethlehem song could have been front and centered somewhere else in the film, but it's not. It's just snuck in right here while they're having the conversation.
And what's the song?
Star of Bethlehem.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's like, whisper your wisdom tenderly, Star of Bethlehem, set us free. I mean, and up until now, the music for Star of Bethlehem has been associated with the bearded guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is why you buy the album, right?
Yeah. And then it's going to lead into another Christmas song, which is going to lead into Setting the Trap track from the soundtrack, which was probably one of my favorite tracks from the soundtrack.
Carol of the Bells. It's going to lead in, yeah.
We'll lead into,
It will lead into the theme of the movie. Yeah, Carol of the Bells.
Jedi Master Utopia asking the hard questions when I already don't feel with it tonight.
Those are my favorites. Superman and Indiana Jones. Especially a lot of the stuff from Temple of Doom. I think Temple of Doom is underrated, but all the Indiana Jones scores are great. And Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I love that score.
Yes.
Yes. That's another one.
I would say Jane Eyre, The Cowboys, Accidental Tourist, Empire of the Sun.
We should do The Cowboys sometime. That might be one for a future.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but God, I love that film score.
I haven't seen it either, but I own the DVD. That was this weird DVD where I bought it, and it actually came with a whole postcard set inside it, and I got it for like nothing.
Really?
And like sometimes you get that with certain DVDs, and you get like a little postcard set of stuff from the movie, like behind the scenes stuff. My Midnight Cowboy edition I got came with a bunch of that. Actually, that's what I did. You have the Midnight Cowboy soundtrack?
I do not. That's John Barry, isn't it?
It might be. Okay. Well, we'll table that one for now. Okay. That's a weird movie, Midnight Cowboy. I'm sorry. When you're a kid, this is true. I got a friend that got nailed because there was a rumor going around that he wore dinosaur pajamas.
Yeah.
Back then, you had to be careful what you wore, what kind of music you listened to. I didn't really advertise the fact that I listened to movie soundtracks, I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid. Because, I mean, I don't know how. And you had to listen. I remember being a 90s kid, too. You had to listen to current bands. If, like, it turns out you're listening to old bands, you get into trouble. And in some ways, that's bad peer pressure. In some ways, it's good because it makes you support current artists, But anyway, here it goes. And here we go. It bleeds. Now we have Carol the Bells bleeding into the prep song.
Yeah. and you still have the Star of Bethlehem in this piece.
Mm-hmm. Big Al was posting something.
Yeah. Go Big Al. You're the man, Big Al.
Posting the lyrics, I think, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we are.
And I will say something about the talk that they had in church. The old man said, I had a fight with my son, and, we both said things we didn't mean. God, people, we do this all the time. Relationships are too important to throw away over stupid ass shit.
It happens, though.
It happens. It happens all the time. And God, it's so easy to get into a fight on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the hell else the kids are using nowadays.
This is one of the reasons I can't stand Facebook. You can't be yourself on Facebook. You have to put on a face, basically. That's why probably it's called Facebook, okay? And it's just because you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and this whole thing blows up. And it's just I don't. You know what's funny? I remember the days of MySpace. I felt like MySpace, you could put more of yourself into it.
I vaguely recall MySpace. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a neater social media site. Okay, used to be able to put music on it, like you could have your own radio station. Like I used to put songs of bands I liked on there. You could listen, or you could go on someone else's page, listen to their songs, and you could make your page. Now we're just in the standard blue. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Okay, I'm getting mad now. Okay.
Yeah. Moral of the story is, don't throw away friendships.
Yeah. Okay, this is my favorite part of the movie, and that's saying a lot because up until now we've been enjoying things. Okay, but this is the highlight. This is our Christmas present. Okay, the audience. Okay,
and this is really this was the entire advertising campaign for the film.
Yeah,
which is why I didn't care to see it, and then I heard John Williams did the film score, and I'm like, what? And I was like, well, there's got to be more to this movie than just people trying to break into a house. And there's a lot of heart in this film, and a lot of it's conveyed with the score. But it's a good story. It's a tight story. It's a well-edited film. If you just take out this part, you've still got a very excellent film.
No, I don't feel like my time has been wasted. I'll say this, even up till now, even though we're waiting for this big showdown, it's like up until now, it's been interesting. Okay,
it has.
That's how movies were back then. And one thing I'll say about movies back then, you could watch them over and over again. I don't know how many times I've watched Home Alone.
I don't know how many times I've seen Captain Marvel. I mean, it's got to at least be like zero.
And even if I liked the actress in that movie, I still probably would have watched it once because it just wasn't that good a movie. Oh, here we go. This I love. Because I'm already annoyed with them. They're these stupid adults, and they're criminals too. So we're not liking them anyway. They're robbing houses. And okay, here we go. Oh! I love how Joe Pesci cusses. He's saying the worst things imaginable, but he's in such pain. It's getting garbled. Did you understand? And that's brilliant acting on his part. Daniel Stern too. Great comic actors, the two of them in this movie. Oh man. Smiling. I'm telling you, I get echoes of Peter and the Wolf from a lot of the
you really do.
Theme, but it's who's the wolf really, if you think about it. I mean, in this scene.
Who?
It's his house. He's got a right to defend it. I'm sorry, you guys, you're in the wrong.
Oh okay? No, straight up, yeah, straight up.
Care. You know what? You're lucky he didn't have actual firepower in there. Okay.
yeah. Don't come try breaking into my house.
That things turn up. Oh, look at that. Oh, icing the steps. Every little thing. This reminds me of the old board game Mousetrap. Have you ever played that where you would set the board and like everything plays out just right? Oh man.
And Big Al, I would say Close Encounters is a better film score than 77 Star Wars. I'm not saying Close Encounters is a better film score than the totality of Star Wars. Star Wars, Empire, Jedi. I'm just saying that 1977, if I had to choose Close Encounters over Star Wars, I would choose Close Encounters.
I'd probably go Close Encounters, but Star Wars is a great score too. We had that on LP when I was a kid. I used to listen to that a lot, and I think the public library in my town had Empire on LP as well. So I think we checked that out.
When is your birthday?
May 21st.
Okay. See this?
Yes. Oh, look at that. That is a fancy
Oh, it's upside down.
Actually, I will say this. I think we might still have that vinyl. I could be wrong. Okay. I might still have my dad's vinyl to Star Wars.
Yeah. It's the 40th anniversary edition.
No, we don't have that. We had the original one, I guess, from 77, which was still neat in its own right. He also had the Empire Jazz album, which was jazz renditions of Star Wars themes.
Okay.
I know you're thinking no, but it's neat.
Yeah, I am.
It has one of the best covers I've seen. It has like I don't know if it's like a stormtrooper playing the saxophone and like Chewbacca. Darth Vader sitting at the nightclub table with a I guess a scotch and soda next to him. And it's like listening to the band. I love the iron. I love everything in this part. I'm sorry. And Marv's the stupider of the two, right?
Yeah.
Has this been established? And he's not completely stupid. He's the dumber of the two. And he's just, oh, here we go. I'm getting Raiders of the Lost Ark flashbacks here in this scene,
And Big Al is correct. 1941 is an awesome film score, and that is actually Steven Spielberg's favorite march that John Williams ever wrote was for 1941. And Spielberg actually played on the recording for the film because he thought it sounded too good, so he went home, got his clarinet, and played in the clarinet section.
Huh. Okay, this is Marv, in my opinion, at his dumbest. If your shoes are getting caught and your socks are getting caught, you're eventually not going to be able to move anymore. So get out of the basement.
Yeah.
Out of the basement. Oh! Have you ever stepped on a nail?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if I
have. With shoes on.
Oh, man. I think it's better if shoes are on, isn't it?
Yes.
Go through? I don't want to.
Not far, but far enough.
Oh man. Okay, bust open. Here we go, flamethrower. Look at that. Okay, I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna say there's nothing in that house worth having if you have to go through all this.
It's just no. He's obsessive. I've hit every house. That's the one I want, and I'm gonna rob it. Okay. Because it's always going to bother me if I don't rob it. That's his mode. I kind of understand it in a sick way. Okay.
I would just find another house.
I think Daniel Stern. That's what he was saying. Who cares about that house? We can just, There was a very bad. Do you remember the show In Living Color?
Yes. Do what you want to do.
I remember they did a spoof of this with Macaulay Culkin. And it wasn't Macaulay Culkin, it was the guy supposed to be Macaulay Culkin, and it was Michael Jackson, because wasn't he hanging out with Michael Jackson for a little while?
He was.
And Michael Jackson shows up at the house, and they do the scene with the flame, and Michael Jackson's hair catches on fire. Remember, that was at a concert. I think his hair caught on fire.
Pepsi commercial. Yeah.
Oh, so bad. It's not funny.
Now, Living Color would not be made today.
No, that's not PC. That's the whole thing. Oh man, that was a funny sketch show. I think at the time I even liked that better than SNL. That was Jim Carrey.
He was, yeah.
Kind of made a comeback with that show, yeah. All right, here we go. I love this. Feathers, yes. Boom.
I think Carrey gets hurt less than Marv.
He got the flamethrower though.
Oh, okay, valid point. But
and he got the I told you the Raiders of the Lost Ark callback when he gets the emblem stuck on his hand. You know,
that's
the
true.
on his hand.
But Marv gets the Die Hard callback by stepping on all the glass.
That's true. Oh man. Oh, don't step. Don't step. I kind of see where they're coming from with it being like a Saw movie because, like, the burglars do exactly what Kevin wants them to do in this thing. Like, they're doing exactly the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Up here, you morons, come and get me. Love it. That was a callback. You know, you left your micro machines on the floor. Was Uncle Frank ran somebody almost broke their neck? You know, yeah. Do you have any micro machines growing up?
It's never much into toy cars.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Oh, I got the micro machine spaceships. When they did a series based on Star Wars. They did another one.
I remember those.
They did another one based on Star Trek, and then they even did Babylon 5. Oh, shut up, will you? I love this. You're missing some teeth. My gold tooth. Now they're really mad. You're almost feeling bad for the burglars at this point. Almost. Of course, now he's saying he's going to do some very nasty things to get, and you know they're serious. He's being serious. Okay. Like, I think they might. What would they have done? They probably would have tied him up, right? Maybe left him there after they robbed the place. I don't think they would have done anything worse than that, but now they're wanting to inflict violence. Okay. That was always my impression.
I liked how they worked the spider in for the entire film, just a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there.
Very clever.
And then finally to drop him on Daniel Stern's face. And
I'm thinking, I don't know how many takes they would have to do with this. Oh man. Oh. That is one of the greatest screams I've ever heard in a movie, period. Okay. These spiders, when he gets the spider on his face, it's like, oh, the tarantula. Okay, I'm not really a spider, I know, but whatever. Or is it I don't know.
Tarantula's a spider. That's a spider.
I'm telling you, I wanted to try this out when I was a kid. I'm like, oh man, this would be awesome. Get on here, fly across. Agent Boomer really enjoying this. I love this movie. It's funny because it's one of these Christmas movies as I got older I forgot about, and I'm like, you watch it again, this is really good. This really holds up. I think I was afraid when I was a kid that I would watch it so many times that I would get sick of it and never want to watch it again, so I eventually stopped. You know,
I don't think I ever felt that way about a film.
I don't know. I know when I was a child, one of the big ones was the original Star Wars that got a lot of play on the VCR.
Empire Strikes Back every Saturday.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to see Empire Strikes Back until after Jedi because I don't think it was available on cable yet, and I look at that. Feet out. Treehouse, another thing I wanted when I was a kid.
I had a fort, but it was never a treehouse.
I don't even think I had that. We had a basement family room that I sort of took over as I grew up as a kid. So even though it was technically for the whole family, I basically hung out there all the time. I used to watch the old Disney cartoons on that, like the Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck cartoons in the basement. Why are you scared, Marv? Are you afraid? Oh God. This is a bad idea. They're making bad mistakes, and it's because they're angry. They're angry. This is the dumbest thing they've done in the whole movie, though, I think. They don't. It's not like they have. Like if there was like a second thing to slide off on, I could see them trying it, but you're going real slowly. Actually, maybe they're afraid to go back in the house, though. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
You know. Here we go.
I think they get worse treatment in the second film.
They do. It's worse. Go back. I think in the second film it's all about revenge for them, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're going after them. It's not about robbing any place. Oh, look at that. Oh. And I think Kevin's there's like a cousin McAllister that's having the house remodeled.
Yeah, the
in New York City.
brownstone.
Brownstone. That's All right. Here we go. That's gotta hurt. Hey, I'm calling the cops. No, wait. He wants us to follow him. They have a point, right?
Yeah.
Now, why does he want them to follow him? Because he wants them to get caught in a house they robbed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that way the police can say, okay, these are the burglars we've been looking for. Okay. Burn his head with a blowtorch.
I read an interesting article on the guy that played the old man. This was like a week or two ago. He had an interesting life. He was kind of weird, but he ended up becoming a poet. He's published.
Oh, good for him.
Someone made a documentary about his life, and it got lost, and no one's ever found it.
I'll have to look for his poetry.
Huh. He joined the army, and they think he was discharged for psychiatric reasons.
Oh, okay.
It's real interesting. Like, wow.
All right, here come the police. You're done. And we know each.
Yeah, we're the wet bandits. Yeah. Take credit for it. Yeah.
Bye. I feel kind of bad. Okay, I feel kind of bad
for Marv and Harry.
A little bit when they're in the car and they're looking all. I mean, I know I shouldn't, because I mean they've been trying to ruin everybody else's Christmas, but it's like this is not how you want your Christmas to end up. You know, you're all busted up and like the kids waving at you. Oh man, I want to strangle them. That's okay though. You'll get your chance. What is it? The following year or 2 years? Actually, no. I think
2 years.
I think the sequel to this was fairly quick, wasn't it? Was it 2 years later?
I think it was 2 years later.
Okay, yeah. I almost thought it was like a 1 year later thing. Carrot Sticks, and I would say Carrot Sticks. What?
For the reindeers.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay. Yeah. Carrot Sticks ain't bad. I'll say that. I mean, it's funny. Like New Year's Eve, that's the vegetable night. You know, that's where you have the vegetables and the dip night. You know, it's
true.
I think it's a reminder of what you're supposed to do in the new year: eat more vegetables and less cookies or something. But they're not bad.
That's not one of my New Year's goals.
I know, but I'm just saying. Oh, here we go. Actually, I'm glad we have this scene here because we're winding down toward the end, but we get a great John Candy scene of him. You know, talking about how we're all bad parents, you know, the Kenosha Kickers.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, I'm telling you, the Kenosha Kickers seems like something that would really exist. Okay. You know, the stuff Kevin does to them in both films would kill a normal human. Marvin and Harry must be either living cartoons or super powered or just super durable. Let me think about this. In the sequel, there's an illusion. There's a cartoon illusion made in one of the scenes. You know, it looks like something out of a cartoon. Do you understand? The Wet Bandits must. Okay. Three Stooges. Yeah, it is. You know, that's funny. She brings up the Three Stooges. It does kind of remind me of the Three Stooges. Oh, I love this. We left the kid at the funeral parlor all day with the corpse. You know,
Yeah,
right? That might be worse, right? And it's like, well, I think we don't need to talk about this anymore. Well, you're the one that brought it up, and you know, it gets a little hostile there. And that's it. Kevin, you awake? Look at all the snow coming down. That's a nice snowfall. Snow is always nice, especially when it's a school day.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, I don't have to go into school today. That was always the most exciting thing. And I don't know why I would get excited. I'm like, now you look at it, but that just means how much I hated school when I was a kid. But it's like, so please. And then we moved to Florida, where there's never snow.
You get hurricanes.
That's true. I'm wondering if the hurricane did something one year that caused the students to have to stay in later. Because the thing about Florida is you start school earlier, but it ends later. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think I was annoyed because I was up north, so my summer vacation got cut short basically because I had to start school in Florida in the fall. You know, so it was like I got out later, but I also started earlier. You know, but what can you do? There's Catherine O'Hara. That I wouldn't drink that milk at this point, probably.
Yeah.
Might be a little funky. Actually, that'd be a nice little Easter egg if like the milk had been drunk and like the plate was empty. It'd be like a little thing that it'd be like a little thing that you saw. You know what I mean? Never mind.
Yeah. That
say Santa was there and he granted the wish. Okay, I don't know. Like, is the wish real? That's the thing. You know, is the wish to Santa real or is it just coincidence? I don't know. All's forgiven.
You know, she does look pretty good for having been in like an airport for 2 days, a moving van, 2 transatlantic flights. Probably not sleeping much.
No. And everyone shows up right after her, which I think is funny. So basically, in some ways, it was important that she show up first, right?
Yeah.
Even if it was only by 5 minutes. Hey, Kev. Pretty cool. You didn't burn the place down. See, that's a compliment from Buzz. Okay. Maybe things are going to be a little better between the two of them, right? Until Buzz sees his room.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a big booty head in the sequel though too.
He is. And they go to Florida in the sequel. And of course it's raining. You shopping? Yeah, I got some milk, eggs, and fabric softener. So what can they do with eggs? Make omelets, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hope you have a frozen turkey in the freezer or something. You're not going to have much of a Christmas dinner. Actually, you go out for Chinese food, as Christmas Story teaches us.
That's all you can do. Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, that's a Jewish tradition with Jewish families. They would go out for Chinese food on Christmas. That was always a thing. Which I think that's interesting.
Well, Hanukkah usually comes before, so
yeah. Of course, I don't know how kosher Chinese food is, but anyway,
chicken. I mean,
yeah, that's right. You get sweet and sour chicken, you're probably fine. Yeah. Okay,
I like that. They show the old man with his son.
Yes, this is very important. This is almost a perfect movie. I got to tell you, almost a perfect Christmas movie. And you see it, and you're thinking it's just going to be about a kid torturing a bunch of burglars, right? But that's not really what.
And it's not. It's not.
That's a nice thing we get to see as an audience.
That's
But
what they sold us on.
It's not overstayed. Nothing is overstays its welcome in this movie, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the stuff with Harry Marv that doesn't. No. Here we go. He's hugging his granddaughter. There we go. Everyone has a Merry Christmas. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll be blunt. You could probably watch this movie any time of year too, and it still be great.
Yeah,
I mean, usually
I'll listen to the soundtrack whenever I feel like it. I don't care what time of year it is.
I usually stick with Christmas movies around Christmas, but this is one you can watch any time of year. Okay. Oh, did they? Oh, yeah, they did. Kevin, what did you do to my room? Everything gets set up and has a payoff later. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
This movie's all about setting things up and paying them off later when you forget about them.
Very well.
Most Asian American food is not kosher. Chicken and egg together is not kosher, and most Asian chicken dishes have egg in them. That's true. Okay, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I learned something new tonight. Thank you.
Oh, ending at part 2, Kevin gets his you know what whoop for running the hotel bill up. I remember that. I liked it though because it was the John Hurt dad, and I don't know. I think he's less cool than Buzz. Not that Buzz is cool, but I don't know. It's like he's in New York City and he's in a fancy hotel. You're going to get a high bill. I'm sorry. I'm in there. Well, I'm getting the treats from the freezer. I'm a kid. I don't care. That's what credit cards are for. Okay. You know?
According to the credits, I just noticed Herbert Spencer did the orchestrations for the film score. He was John Williams' orchestrator back in like the heyday of John Williams, like Star Wars, Close Encounters, Dracula, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T. So I think that's one reason why this score stands out so well.
The video games for this movie are not good, from what I've heard. Okay.
This has a video game?
They made video games based on it because it's a popular movie. It's going to get a game based on it, and whether or not that's any good. And I think Angry Video Game Nerd, he sometimes does those reviews where he's, swears a lot and hates the old games. I think he actually had Macaulay Culkin guest star as a guest when he did the Home Alone games. It's funny, Macaulay Culkin's almost had like a second career as like a YouTube personality where he hops on people's channels. It's kind of interesting.
We should get him to come on for Home Alone too.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yes.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna get the Critical Drinker on sometime this year.
Critical Drinker is funny. What did he do? He did the Wonder Woman review recently. I think I watched that. Wonder Woman 84. We can't get good movies anymore. It's really starting to make me angry. I made the joke on the Professor stream once. When in the chat section, I used to think that Warner Brothers didn't like making superhero movies. Now I think they just don't like making movies. Because it always feels like you're twisting their arm to make a Superman movie, and part of me is like, if you really don't want to make a Superman movie, don't make one. Okay, make something else that you want to make.
They may not be making movies much longer. Period.
They don't know what they're doing. They really don't. And I have mixed feelings toward Warner Brothers because they've done some good stuff. They've done good stuff in the past. In some ways, I'm angry with Universal because Universal just doesn't do anything. They do Fast and the Furious movies, and that's it. I don't know what's going on with them right now, but. And Blumhouse movies, the crappy, cheap horror movies. Except for Don't Breathe. That was a Blumhouse. That wasn't bad. Okay. Well, that's it. That's the end of the movie.
So, why is this showing me credits now in German?
Did you get the German version?
I got What's Ever on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right. Home Alone is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
What else is on Disney Plus? They have all the 20th Century Fox movies on there. Is Alien on Disney Plus?
I have no idea. I'm about to find out though.
That'd be an interesting one to do, or Aliens. James Horner.
Aliens of the Deep. which not what I'm looking for.
That's
So, no. But yeah, James Horner did Aliens, and he did a fine job.
Melissa Harris, Blumhouse is garbage. Yeah, but they did a brilliant Fantasy Island reboot where they made Fantasy Island a horror movie. I'm kidding, of course. Oh man, that was the worst movie I think I saw last year. Was the Fantasy Island movie that Blumhouse put out? Anyway, so next week we're not sure what we're doing yet. We're thinking maybe ET or maybe something else, but we'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
At some point, I want to do
gifts for next week.
What?
Working on a gift for next week.
Well, find out.
Jedi Master Zootopia says Alien is on HBO Max, which I do not have. Do you have HBO Max, Jedi Master Zootopia?
Yeah, is it worth subscribing to?
And why are there so many different HBO streaming services? Why can't they just have one? I don't. I mean, it's like
funny.
Netflix...
I brought up my sister because my sister does subscribe to HBO and is like, "Going to get HBO Max?" No. Okay, you get a regular HBO. I don't want HBO Max. He's like, they need to like streamline things down.
Could you imagine there was like 4 Netflixes, like Netflix Plus, Netflix Platinum, Netflix Extreme Platinum, Netflix Preferred Platinum Plus. You know, it's like, why can't we just have Netflix?
HBO is a weird channel in that they'll have like a big hit show, like The Sopranos, right? Sopranos goes off. They say now premiering John from Cincinnati. Nobody likes it. Gets canceled after one season. And then, like for the next couple of years, they were doing like shows like In Treatment, I think, which was about people going to see a shrink, and that was the whole show. And it's like, no, we want something bigger. And then they finally came out with the Game of Thrones again. That I guess became the big show after The Sopranos. But like for a while, they weren't doing anything.
Oh yeah, it comes with AT&T. Very true.
Well, there's probably a lot of good movies on there.
Yeah, because if you have AT&T, you get it like for free. I mean, it's
like Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to watch. I'm going to watch that at some point to see how bad it is, but I'm not going to pay for it. Okay.
It's 2.5 hours of your life, my friend. You never get it back.
I know. Well, you know what? Venom was 2 hours of my life. I never got back either. And I don't think anything can be worse than Venom, but I'll find out. Venom was the worst superhero movie I might have ever seen, at least especially of all the new ones. Terrible film. Oh. And there's some people that like it and they think, oh, it's campy. No, whatever. It's stupid.
How do you have Venom without Spider-Man again?
Yeah, that's one of the many questions you'll ask while watching that movie. I don't like this whole thing of turning villains into anti-heroes. They keep doing this. I don't. Yes, Venom is not as bad as some of Spider-Man's other villains. That doesn't make him a hero, and it doesn't make him not a villain. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go get off on a ranting tangent here. Okay, but no, Venom was terrible. It was just and Tom Hardy. I don't know. They're thinking about him for the next James Bond. No. Okay, so anyway, what are we doing? I'm hearing terrible things about Wonder Woman 84, but Catwoman wasn't worth the bandwidth. I need to watch Catwoman. That's Halle Berry, right? That ruined her. That did a lot of damage to her career.
Yeah.
They were prepped to start making her a leading lady in a lot of movies, and then she did Catwoman, and that bombed, and that was it. I mean, she still started movies after that, but it wasn't the same. Like, if you have a bomb, it's especially when it's high profile as that.
What does that mean?
Donning the mustache. You got the mustache.
I didn't shave today. I was preoccupied with news events this afternoon, so I didn't really get prepped for tonight's show.
Well, we won't talk about those.
But we're not going to go into that. I'm just leaving it at that.
Not going to get.
I didn't get dressed up or anything. I just kind of came on. because
There
H
you
Boomer
go.
twisted my arm. He's like, no, let's do it and just have a good
Well,
time.
no, if you really wanted to take tonight off, we could have. But I figured
No,
let's do Home
no,
Alone.
I was no.
We're
I'm glad you.
We're gonna be in March and still not doing Home Alone though. We gotta get Home Alone out of the way because we got to do Home Alone
Yeah.
2 next time, or not next time, but maybe next Christmas or something.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you convinced me to come on, and I appreciate it, because sometimes you just need a little. We're just gonna have a good time.
All right. Cool.
And that's the time we had.
All right. Well, do you got anything else to add to this film? This is actually one of the underrated John Williams scores, I think. This is the one everybody forgets about, but it's actually very good, and it's worth owning, worth listening to, especially around the holidays. So, yeah,
And there is La La Land, or Entrada, I forget who. One of them has a 2 CD set out. That's the one you should buy if you don't own it.
Yeah, they'll look into that. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Sound Engraver, did you get your Christmas present yet? Well, I got you in the chat if you're still here.
I'm trying to think though, but yeah, we said the VHS tape of this, and I'm even wondering if this was a Showtime regular movie or not. Who put this out? 20th Century Fox. This might have been.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, back in the day, it was either Showtime or HBO. Half the movies went to HBO, the other half went to Showtime, and I think this might have been a Showtime movie, but I could be wrong. If it was an HBO movie, it didn't matter because I had the videotape. But yeah, I used to watch this one over and over again. This must have been a Showtime one because for me to have watched as many times as I did, it must have been on cable. But yeah, I like this. Like the sequel, was really excited for the sequel. Like, it's not as good as the first one. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's as good a sequel as you were going to get for a movie that probably didn't need a sequel, but it's still a good movie. It's a good time. We get a different environment for the burglars in the sequel, right? It's a different kind of housing disaster. So I kudos. Okay.
Sound Engraver, he has not gotten the Christmas present yet because I do not have the Christmas present yet. I am still waiting on it.
Yeah, post office has been bad.
I've been told like this week or next week everything will be done where it's getting done at. So
really, really bad this year. I'm telling last year, now this year. Anyway, I'm telling you know what kills me about the menu system on this DVD? It shows all the violent scenes. It shows the scene with Kevin destroying the shelves, and then it shows it's Harry and Marv, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Them getting destroyed. It's like all the top scenes in the movie, and it's like I don't like seeing them over and over again. This is starting to disturb me. I'm turning the DVD off now. Okay. All right. So we'll be back next week. We'll try and announce what the movie is early. We're hoping it might be another Spielberg classic, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right. And everything else to add, Daniel?
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Stay sane in a crazy world. Adopt, don't shop if you're in the market. Keep listening to those great film scores, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone who came by.
All right. Take care.